I am Carrie. I'm your GM today. And my fun fact is that I have a freckle on my eyelid.
Show us.
I can't.
Just kidding.
No. What happened to Yes and, Carrie? Yes and, it's a bug!
I'll send you a pic of my eyelid later.
Sweet.
Not the eyelid pic.
Lid pics.
Not lid pics!
So it's your lid pics.
Hi, I'm Candace, also known as Candace the Magnificent sometimes. My pronouns are they, she. My character is Griselda Doom, she, they. And fun fact about me, I feel like everybody already knows like way too much about me because of the internet. I talk about myself professionally for a living right now.
Hey.
Even though I don't know what to tell you about myself.
Hi, I am Adam Sowards, he, him. So I got 2 stupid facts. And then like a different one. First 2. I have never been in a submarine. I'm not very good at shuffling cards. That's another one. And another fact is something I looked on the internet. It says the oldest known English language book on magic is from 1584.
Magic like that you do or magic that is?
Well, let's read this whole article.
My name is Julian, and today I will be playing Catalyst, or Cat for short. Any all pronouns for both me and the character. My fun fact is that I know the first 9 English Pokemon theme songs by memory. I got the original one, I got Johto Journeys, I got the first 9, they're all in here. They've been in here for a long time.
Impressed.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
That's very impressive. Fuck. I can barely remember the first one.
Yeah, you're a hard act to follow, Julian.
I mean, I could just be
Come
saying
on,
that. I
Joshua.
don't have to prove it or anything. You
No,
know, I could
you-
be lying.
I know every single letter of the alphabet.
Okay.
Don't test me.
Hi, I'm Joshua Peters. I'm Chase the Ghost on Twitch, and I occasionally stream games. Other than that, I'm just a big TTRPG hobbyist, and I will play Solarian Gust Dovespire tonight as my sorcerer, he, they. Fun fact about myself and my very varied life, I was born a Missourian, but I saw both oceans before I reached the top of the arch.
The top of the arch to you.
Nope.
Please tell me that's the theme.
Nope.
Can
Four
be.
sorcerers, one arch.
Hold on, I have to rewrite the
How am I
whole
gonna
adventure.
carry this? Thing's like fucking 20 feet tall. How are we supposed to take that?
Our scene opens in the dark streets of Fallmount. Below the mountain-like mesa of Crown's Peak, where the royals and nobles reside, currently recovering from the recent attack and loss of the city's shields. As a boot steps into a small puddle, our camera pans up to see our 4 characters. Please, describe your characters to us. Who do we see walking down the street right now? If anyone wants to volunteer to go first, or I can like send your names in the chat and you can go in that order. Or here, make it easier. Why don't we go in the order that you introduced yourselves?
Oh, great. Then it's me.
Sound good? Yeah.
Griselda Doom walks with a very easy gait. Lots of swaying and sashaying of her hips. She is about 6 feet tall, slight build, kind of slim, almost gaunt a little bit. She has kind of a short angled bob, and like a black leather kind of dress on that's very form-fitting. It's clear that she was made to take her time, or at least feels entitled to take her time. They have this kind of deep brown skin, like a medium kind of chocolate brown skin, but underneath there's like kind of shades of copper and red and like a greenish color almost. And if you get very close to her in the light, you can see it's actually like a fine network of dragon scales, like tiny dragon scales all over her skin, that kind of shimmer and change in the light. Her eyes are like a dark coppery reddish color. And her smile is very bright and white. She wears very dark, kind of harsh makeup that doesn't seem out of place. She looks very, I guess, for our intents and purposes, she's very goth. She has a staff that's like a black, kind of ebony staff that has kind of like a whorled kind of top. That has these really cool, like little kind of like twig kind of effects coming off of it, and inside burns this like ever burning fire, like a little orb of kind of a sparking kind of red, yellow, and occasionally blue orb of everlasting fire. And she's kind of looking around a little annoyed. She likes to make an entrance, and being first is great, but being last is better.
Wonderful. A quick question for Carrie before I introduce my character. Are we at the place to meet, like, the quest giver, or like have we just come from there? Like, are we walking inside? Like, what's sort of around us?
Yeah, so you've been given your quest, and you are, basically you're in charge of trying to figure out who
Did the shit.
Yeah, who fucked up the shields in the city.
Mm.
And it's kind of been discovered, or at least, what is the word that I'm looking for? Suspected, that whoever did this probably came from the tunnels beneath the city. They have been closed off, like the entrances have been closed off for years. So you're probably looking for some sort of secret entrance into the tunnels, and that's what you're doing as you're walking down the street.
Awesome. If you'll allow, I would say we do like a brief little cut to earlier when we were like talking to the king, I guess, or I guess the prince that is the now king. Maybe like the rest of the crew was in there getting the quest, and then in pops like just into the room is Duke Maurice Salazar Plumbledon, which is a 5'9", sort of a purplish blue tiefling man who has black horns from the top of his forehead that sort of go back. That's similar to his very tightly pulled ponytail, black hair on top. He's wearing a little spectacles on the end of his nose, clean shaven. He's wearing sort of French Revolutionary aristocracy clothing that's like black and blue, sort of muted, a little bit of purple accents. Very, very fancy boy, very stuffy. And it looks like when he pops into the room, he's in a seated position, like he was sitting on a chair, and then he just like falls to the ground. He's like, "What? No. And basically we just see a scene of him being very angry, sort of yelling at nothing. He throws a wand and a pair of gloves on the ground and shouts at them, and then walks out and then pops back into the room and then accepts his fate. And then we cut forward to where we're all walking through the streets, and he looks very upset to be here, but has resigned himself to doing the quest, and is sort of fiddling with his hands, and is walking with a pretty decent posture, but probably behind most of the other folks.
Right, so I'll go next. So stepping up, maybe a few steps behind Griselda is Catalyst, or Cat for short. Cat is an Aasimar, so a little bit of celestial blood in there, and you can tell they're very pretty. eyes are absolutely sparkling. The hair is a disheveled mess of black waves with some dyed white streaks up front. A lot of shiny things on them. Jewelry, rings. It's not necessarily expensive. It's just kind of like if they see anything that contributes to the glamour goth aesthetic, they're like, yes, give me. So necklaces, rings, mostly black. But they're not super neat and tidy like Maurice over there. I think maybe Cat shoots Maurice like a confused look as they walk and is just kind of like, take it easy, my friends. I think we've got a little mission ahead of us. Happy to be here with you.
Take it easy. Take it easy. We'll take it methodically, a very scheduled approach, and that is how we will find whatever has happened here, and then go forward.
Sorry, I'm not listening to you. I'm looking at my hands.
Yes, excellent.
It's so nice.
Yes,
And then
very,
the
very nice hands.
The camera pans to who I'm assuming is leading this charge now after hearing these other three introductions to our last character.
You know, Candace was right when they when they said the last one gets the best shot. Because we got goth, we got stuffy guy, we got goth jewelry, and then out front, and just an assortment of blue, white, and gold, and like shimmering jewelry, and not boots, but light slippers, is Solarian Dovespire. A young bureaucrat with cloud-like white hair kind of flowing in a wind that doesn't exist. And he is just so glad to be head of this charge. Because who else could be the face of this than a Dovespire? An ambassador of the nobility of this city. He looks over his shoulder at the other three, admires Cat's setup of jewelry once more, but won't say anything about it. Only eyes. And looks forward and with very light steps, missing the puddles, sidestepping any cracks or crags, because you have to keep an appearance. You watch him stroll onward. Not a sound until he is spoken to.
Gust, I feel like you're monologuing in your head again. I feel like you're monologuing in your head again.
Well, I do keep myself the best company.
Yeah, your head's really up in the clouds, huh?
Oh, I've heard that one before.
I think it's probably good if we could set our mind on the task at hand. I feel as if a methodical approach to discovering this investigation would be the quickest way for me to get home. So if I don't know where you're leading us, Mr. Gust, but it is hopefully where we're supposed to be going. I believe if we question the witnesses, and perhaps, and he just sort of like drones on.
I'm with Plumbledrum. We need to get this over as soon as possible so we can go home and I can be alone.
Plumbledum, the B and a D.
Griselda, my dear, Duke, we will be well on our way. Just take it easy.
You said it yourself quite well that, you are your finest company. Same here, darling, I understand. And I would quite like to get back to it.
Let's get to it.
Reading a very interesting book, and I'd like to get back to that book, please.
Out of character, how tall is Griselda? Because I see this as a tall person.
She's 6 feet tall.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Gustus looks up at you with like just the whimsy of it all. Just, nothing is going to go wrong with us.
Yes, well, I hope you're wrong. Like, you kind of see her turn on her heel and like just march in the direction she thinks she's supposed to be going, and like as her feet kind of hit the puddles, like before her feet kind of touch down in them, they evaporate. You can hear them sizzling as she like kind of stomps her way like through the courtyard.
Ooh. Perhaps we should stay together.
Yes, are you coming?
Yes, you were the one that liked my charts. I'll come with you. And I have a notebook that I'm making little diagrams. Like, I believe that they said that this was the person that witnessed this, so if we talk to them, then maybe... Actually, this is kind of fun. I can make more diagrams. And I'm sort of going on and on as I'm following Griselda.
Well, Cat,
All right.
after you.
I follow.
Griselda, please make either, depending on how you're going about it, like a perception check, or if you're like poking around at things, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Yeah, I'm definitely poking around. I believe the worst in everyone.
Cool.
So I am looking at every single, like, I'm not just looking at like obvious clues, like I want to look at everything.
Cool.
Can I help Griselda?
Sure, you can either roll or give Griselda advantage.
And I'm gonna use my guidance cantrip to add a
Please
D4
give me
to that.
advantage.
I
Yikes.
tap Griselda on the shoulder and I'm like, hey, I believe in you.
Griselda like rolls her eyes so hard up at the sky, and then by the time her face gets back down to you, there's like a really thin smile, but a smile nonetheless.
The same dumb smile as on Cat's face the whole time.
Thank you, darling. This is wonderful.
Hey, yeah.
How much am I adding?
D4.
D4. Okay. Let me roll a regular D4. I should have been prepared. I'm over here just faffing about.
Hey, that's a good word.
It's a no faff zone.
Oops,
Life in
all
that
faffs.
That's a 15.
With advantage?
Oh, with advantage? Boy, howdy.
Oh, sorry. You should look over here. Actually, there's no one over there, so this might be able to. It might be able to help.
26. That's actually a 30
Jeez.
with the 4.
Fuck yeah!
So you're like looking to one side
Sherlock
of the
Holmes.
street, and there's not a whole lot, and then you hear. How tall is the Duke?
Let's say 5'8".
Okay. So not quite a little voice, but you hear a voice kind of like being like, "Why don't you check over here? There's something." You can see this weird collection of items that just don't seem to fit together necessarily, and so your attention is brought to them, and you kind of head over. You see like some sort of dumpster, but then there's some sort of like clothes bin of some sort, and then there's like a trash can. None of them seem to have the same items in them. Like they're not from the storefront that was here. They seem to be from multiple places, and you kind of just start scooting them around, and you see there seems to be like this hand-dug hole that leads in and underneath this building.
Companions, please.
Looking
There
at the
is
ground
some
now.
kind of hidey hole. You know, like for a weasel.
Yes, it does not look as if it belongs there.
No. And it looks like it was covered up in a hurry.
I'd like to cast a detect magic on this,
Okay.
if I can. Look at me casting spells.
Spells.
Casting spells. So yeah.
Great idea, Duke. Great idea.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah, if
why
only
I
one
did
of us
that.
could have had the idea to cast a spell.
I think I
There's
guess
a-
this also means that I think whenever I cast a level 1 spell or above, I have to roll a d20, and if it rolls a nat 1, then I have to roll on the table.
Great.
Ooh, that is a 2. Very close.
That's close.
Don't fireball us this early.
Yeah.
What an interesting.
Session over.
So you see him pull out a pair of long black gloves, and he puts them on, and then he pulls out a wand, and he's like, what was it? Yeah. And just sort of twirls his wand at the tunnels, like perhaps we might be able to see something a little bit more. And you see very colorful rainbow magic, sort of like just sort of poof out for a second. He's like, is there anything that I see in there?
So read me the specifics of
Yes.
detect magic.
It says, for the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area. Bears magic. You learn its school of magic, if any.
Okay. I would say there are very intense auras around your companions, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any particular items that are glowing more than others on the three of you? Probably Griselda's staff, I would assume.
Absolutely.
Rings.
One of the only, actually, teardrop pearl earring that Gust has, as well as his entire robe.
Other than that, there doesn't seem to be any magic, at least within 30 feet, coming from this hole or the building.
But I can deduce this hole was not made by magic.
Correct.
Right. Well, this spell is active for 10 minutes, so
Great.
hopefully maybe we might be able to see something further in. But I turned to my companions. It seems that this hole was not made with magic, so perhaps we're not looking for... I sort of gesture at all of us. Someone like us, but perhaps they just had a very big shovel. I don't know. Did you also receive a mysterious magical object that suddenly gave you powers? I see that you all have various magic objects on you. Not to be intrusive, it's just the spell.
What? This? And he lifts up his robe just a little bit by the hem. Oh no, I only bought this 2 months ago. I'm glad you noticed it, though.
Yes, very, very nice.
I don't know if that, if it's not made by magic, I think that hole was made by dirt. I think I'm gonna start clearing it away. And I just kind of, wave my hand very lazily, and a golden spectral mage hand appears in front of me, and I'm like, hey, just dig away at that for me, and it just kind of starts to dust away very sensually at the dirt.
Gus will laugh at that and then just, under his breath, send his own mage hand, which just looks like a gust of wind. Just down there and just...
This looks like a job for our hands, doesn't it, Gus?
Yeah, but I don't like getting my own hands dirty, of course.
Of course.
I think I'm missing something.
I'm not climbing in that hole.
Right, we're not rats.
No.
It's
And
not
I'm,
a particularly large hole.
quite frankly, far too big. I don't mean size-wise. I mean, I am too big to go in the hole.
I mean, technically, I am a duke, an Earl of Plumbleton, the Pennywitch, sorry.
Oh, smallest of us, though, right? So you would probably go first. If
Yeah,
you're able to
yeah.
You
get the hole
would
open.
have a nice, snug fit.
You got gloves on as well. So
These
you-
are
And
these
you're
are my,
rough
these
as
are my
well.
casual clothes. I was in the reading room. I don't want
Oh, even better. Your
Yeah, so you
casual
could fit
outfit.
No,
That easily
This
casual,
was.
as
leather
in
is not my
casual.
casual outfit. I wore
This is-
my best for you.
This is
Look.
indoor casual, not outdoor casual.
Duke,
I think you
look,
would all
hey.
understand.
So pajamas.
Basically.
Right. Please get into the hole.
As this little tiff happens, Gus' mage hand actually picks up a little clump of dust and drops it into his ruffles. Of the Duke's ruffles. Oh, I'm so sorry.
How dare
Here,
you?
let me get this for... And just prestidigitates it away.
You're practically in the hole already. Look at you.
There's one thing I cannot stand, and it is being rude. And I will walk forward, and I will go into the hole.
Thank you so much, dear Duke. Thank you.
Taking one for the team, and it didn't even take any urging on our part.
We just need to get this over with, so I don't have to see any of you again. And goes into the fucking hole.
You guys are gonna make me cry.
Oh my god.
I did.
This is the most pretentious group.
Everyone's like, let's pick on the smallest one. Mickey and Google.
We're so mean.
This is great.
One moment, please, because I need a tissue for my eye.
You put literal dirt on my
Would you
collar.
mind getting
He
me a
cleaned it
tissue?
off. He cleaned it off.
It's the thought that counts, sir.
And he thought to clean it when he got it
And
dirty.
you thought to put it in the first
Your
place.
face, though. Your face with the dirt. I can't.
We all know how prissy we are, and that is the biggest slap in the face.
I feel like all of our parents were like killed by nobles or something, just the way we're treating the Duke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably.
Oh my god.
Well, I feel like Gus, you said you're a bureaucrat, so I feel like we'd probably get the closest along, maybe.
Yeah.
But
We'll find out, won't we, Adam?
The cat's
Yeah.
cat's so cool, and Griselda is, well, I don't want to
Herself.
hit on her bad side.
Boss.
What you're saying is Griselda is terrifying.
That's a great word for it, but I'm not going to say it.
That's how she likes
Divination
it.
is a sorcerer proficiency,
Oh.
or it can be.
All right, we're getting professional.
We hear, Duke, what are your shoes?
they are heeled shoes.
What are those?
They're basically the French Revolutionary heeled shoes.
Great.
Like a
we-
buckled
we-
situation.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear these flat, just no texture heeled shoes slam into the dirt of
Wait,
the tunnel.
actually, can I? I'm going to use a cantrip called Shape Water, and can I basically take some water from the street, sort of shake it out so it's normal water, and then kind of put it around my shoes, like the bottom of my shoes, so that, I don't know, it's kind of like floating around my shoes, so that, like, I don't know, the dirt goes in the water instead of on my shoes.
It's just like constantly washing your shoes.
Yeah,
In a
basically, yeah.
sense. Yeah,
These-
absolutely.
These are nice.
I think you do that like
I wear them on carpet.
as you're hopping in too. Like you're saying that angry like, oh, whatever I can do to get this over with faster, and you like twirl your finger, and you guys just see water shake in front of him, and then slam down into the tunnel with him.
God.
Yeah,
Kind of
you
walking on airs, but this is walking on wet.
you land in the tunnel, and you are in fact in the tunnels underneath the city. You see it stretch out in front of you into darkness.
This is indeed the tunnels, I shout back. I'd like to do an investigation to see, since we know that this thing's happened to the shields, if I can sort of use my brain to see if I can deduce which way we could go to the tunnels to get to the shields. Or at least, like, under the shields. Like, that's probably the place where it would have happened.
Okay, so the city itself, like, the shield isn't around the entire continent.
Mhm.
It's just around the kingdom, which has been built up on this mesa. So it can't be deactivated from these tunnels. The kingdom thinks whoever did this probably snuck through the tunnels.
Oh, to get
Themselves.
to...
Yeah.
Like, okay. I guess, like, in my magical knowledge do I think there's, like, a battery or a station where all the runes are to deactivate the shield, or...
No, not here. All of that would be like up in the kingdom. Basically, what you believe you're looking for are people.
that, like, are hiding down here after
Yes.
what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can absolutely make like either a survival or an investigation check for like footprints.
Investigation, please.
Yeah, I figured so.
Hot dog. That is a 26 investigation.
Yeah. You do see about three different sets of footprints that seem to have landed here and have walked forward.
I seem to have found some sets of footprints. Are you coming down
Halfway
here?
through your sentence, Catalyst slides down so much more carelessly than the Duke did. Tunic like flies all the way up. You get a glimpse of their abs. They're like, sorry, as they dust the dirt off of themselves. Good job, Duke. What'd you find, boy?
You refer to me as Duke or Plumbledon.
That's what I said.
Anyways, this is.
And at that point, when he's starting to talk, Gus floats down behind everyone, or the two. And I didn't say this earlier, but his vest does leave a lot of his chest space open, and it's
Oh,
very lithe person,
Deep.
and it's periwinkle skin, so it's like a purplish blue, very similar to the Duke, oddly enough.
I would say mine's on the darker tone. If yours is on the like a highlighter, I don't know.
Like light mid. Anyway, he just floats on down, takes a little dainty steps in his slippers. Did I miss anything? Were you saying something?
Yes, I was just about to say, and I sort of like looking up the tunnel, that there is 3 sets of footprints here. So I believe that if we are to find whoever is hiding in these tunnels, perhaps this is a good place to start. I read several detective novels recently. It is more the formula that was actually interesting. But if we actually follow the footprints, it is a way of tracking, really. We might be able to find whoever has done this. It seems like none of you are paying attention. Let's go this way. Just sort of point down one of the tunnels where one of the footprints are leading. Miss Doom?
Yes.
Are you going to be joining us down here?
I suppose so.
Um,
I summon a mage hand with my just like a little wave of my fingers, and instead of being like a golden color, it looks almost like red and black lightning that's like making up this hand, and it starts kind of like carving like extra space for me in the tunnel as I walk forward, so that I don't have to like muck about in like the mud and like skulk around.
Don't want to stoop.
But I'm miserable by the time I get to you. Like absolutely put out.
Terribly.
What did you find that is so important?
We're going this way. I summarize.
Yes, all right. Well,
Yes.
I guess that's a good enough lead. Good
Yes.
job, Plumbledrum.
One thing I can't stand is being rude. And it just sort of says under his breath, let us get this over with.
Is it bright down here? Is it like, do we need dark
There is
vision or anything?
there is no light down here, so
I
I'm
will.
doing great.
There is
ahead.
when I get there.
There you go. Yeah, likewise, casting light on all my jewelry as well, just to make everything a little bit more visible.
That's much better. Thank you, cat.
You're welcome. Meow, and I lead the way.
What was that?
amazing. This is something. I'm very happy about all of this.
I would say on the way, Plumbledon does the polite thing and tries to start up small talk with everybody, because it is the polite thing to do, and he'd be like, "So, where's everyone from?"
A small village. I lived a pretty normal life. Most popular kid in the schoolhouse. Found out my mum was an angel, and I'm like, well, that makes sense. And then I
That's
started
interesting.
adventuring.
Very interesting. Mother being an angel. My parents were devils.
Oh, cool.
The whole one's
Oh, yeah, I was wondering if there was like a goat thing or something. I didn't want to ask.
We have several goats.
Do they smell?
Property. I honestly wouldn't know. Most of the servants deal with the goats, but they make great cheese. Great cheese, wonderful cheese. I actually brought a little square of cheese. Did you anyone? It's probably not the time. Probably not the time.
Wait,
place.
you're telling me a goat
Whatever.
makes this cheese? How do they make cheese?
The milk. Some goats. The female goats. They produce milk.
It's wild.
Make cheese. Yes.
Griselda, do you know this? You can make
That
cheese out of
animals make
goats.
milk and milk makes cheese. Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, I'm quite aware. Thank you.
Wild.
Yourself, Gust, and Ms. Griselda.
I mean,
Wonderful style, by the way.
oh, thank you.
All of you, really.
Yes. Well, no, I came from a higher street here, more towards the Western
here.
District. Yes,
Hmm.
yes. So
The more personal for you.
I think I just lived a lovely life. Normal, of course, like Cat. Except my grandmother was a djinn. And, well, I've been blessed ever since I was born.
So
Good
very
looks
rare.
and fashion.
Jinn.
Very rare?
They're
yes.
jinns, correct?
Sure, yeah, yes.
Mm.
She was a powerful, powerful woman. And I like to keep that in mind. Everything I do is because of her.
Beautiful.
Kat, your jewelry is fantastic, by the way. I couldn't wait any longer to tell you.
Oh my god, thank you so much. I love your robe.
Yes. And he'll like flip his wrist a little bit to jangle his jewelry a little bit as well.
Cat's so entranced by this and like takes some necklaces out and jangles them too. I can do it too.
Oh, I think we're gonna be great friends. It's gonna be so wonderful. Go on, let's get. Well, actually.
Griselda? How about yourself?
Griselda has continued to walk in the direction of the footsteps. You guys are just like standing in an increasingly dark corridor, jingling your stuff. She is attempting to get out of this question, but then hears the Duke and like turns. Yes.
Where are you from? It is polite to attempt small talk, and I felt.
Small talk.
It could be big talk.
No. Small is quite adequate. I was born of soot and poor circumstances, adopted by two parents. I grew up. I became myself. And now I'm here talking to you. Small talk.
Wonderful. Does anyone enjoy economics?
Wait, hold on. So we've all got a handle on our magic because we were born of some pretty extraordinary circumstances. And Duke, I've got to say, you've kind of glanced over your magic. What exactly is your deal? I've got the shiny stuff. Gust has the wind. Griselda has the statement of it all. What about you, Duke? What's your magic?
He looks awkwardly down at the pair of gloves and the wand that's in his hand. Well, it's a rather embarrassing, really. I bought a pair of gloves, these ones, gestures. They're about forearm length, nice black gloves, and there was this wand happened to be in it, and well, as soon as I turned it on, a weird portal opened and threw me into a bunch of bandits, and it's very strange. It happened about a year ago. We've worked together
you're a
couple
baby.
of times.
You're
so
a magical
young.
little baby.
Oh my goodness.
A year old.
Rather difficult to control the magical results, but honestly, I'll leave the doing the magic stuffs to you. That earlier was a little bit stuff.
Duke, darling, you just need to practice. That's all. You'll get it.
I prefer not. My magic sort of brought me here against my will. I don't really want to be. It does that a lot. So I think it best to just do whatever the hell it is that we need to do. What the heck it is that we need to do here, and we will. I can go back home. And
You'll
finish
learn
my
as
book.
we go. Once we fry these dragons or ghosts or whatever it is.
Yes.
Griselda, you see anything yet?
Yes, of course.
And while they're in the dark, Gus will just kind of gently touch Duke's shoulder and just kind of guide him through the dark. He's like, "Don't worry, I can see just fine."
He doesn't tell Gus, but he can see perfectly fine as well.
I assumed that because
Thank you.
It's fine. It's fine. And you will learn everything. You're surrounded with talent. I can tell.
Yeah, thank you.
Am I just going to be here by myself all day?
I'm not following you. I want to know what we have to blast. To boom.
There's some kind of glowing archway in this tunnel. Come look, please.
Oh.
Archway. Glowing. What?
Fascinating.
Everybody quick
You're gonna love it. It matches all your jewelry.
I run forward.
Yes, I prance.
I cast Thaumaturgy and I say hello 3 times louder than I normally should.
Oh, God.
You recognize that we're going to get caught, yes?
Hmm? By
We're
what?
supposed to be sneaky.
We haven't found
Get
anybody
these
down here.
signals.
Who's gonna catch us?
If someone is there resting or up to no good, it's better we catch them in the act. Then we
Right.
can punish them.
Gotcha. Keep doing what you're doing!
I message Cat with the message cantrip. Like, maybe, if in my mind, maybe we should talk through message. Do you have do you have this sort of spell where you can communicate through your mind rather than really loud?
Is this what an inner monologue feels like? Hello? Ah, no, I don't have that one.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
There. And catch up with the rest of the group.
Upon catching up, you see what Griselda's looking at. This chamber, it keeps going, but then it branches off into a larger corridor. And looking through, you do in fact see it opens up into this chamber, and there is a glowing archway in the center. It's like bright pale blues with like a white in the center. It's not hard to look at, but it's like there's this beauty, and it's like kind of alluring, but also just brightening up the entire chamber itself.
Wow. Would you believe
Right.
I've seen both seas before climbing that arch?
What?
What?
Is my detect magic still going?
I'm out of here.
Karen?
Yes,
Love
and
it.
as you were like getting closer to that doorway, you were feeling the like intense magic coming from this area. All you're really getting you're getting something that you don't recognize, but you're also getting some sort of like teleportation ability from this archway as well.
I guess I'll be like, hold on one moment, everybody. I believe that I have not seen spells like this very much, but I think I might have seen one of you use a spell similar, but it's some sort of... It's like the spells to move you from one place to the other. Not like the one where a short range. It seems like a longer range, jumping, teleportation. That's what it's. Teleportation.
So we walk through it and go where we need to go. All right, sure.
Well, maybe we should. Maybe we should.
Cat, wait,
Caution,
Cat.
perhaps.
At this point, you hear a noise beginning to come from it, like something stopping air from being sucked into a vacuum, basically. Like that's the best way that I can explain the noise. And then you see the small white middle of this like flash and take up the entire archway. And you see something step out of this archway. You see in this quick flash of light, you see long limbs. It doesn't seem to have clothing or a need for clothing, but you see 4 very long limbs. And you see, as it steps out, just a toothy face. It doesn't even seem to look at you at first, as it steps out and then reaches back in to this rift or archway, whatever this is, reaches in and pulls another figure out, slams the figure down onto the floor, and then you see this light flash again, and this rift itself like close back to the way that it was when you originally saw it. The light of the rift actually goes out, but you have the light of the jewelry and the staff still lighting up the area enough to where everybody can see just fine. And as the figure is standing up off of the ground, Allegra, please describe who we see.
You see a young person, probably in their early 20s. They've got long red hair that's pulled back on one side. Instead of the... Oh, no, no one knows that. Doesn't matter. They're wearing a long brown traveling dress, full of pockets, and over top of it, a kind of green traveling cloak. Yeah, they're just kind of stunned for a minute, and when they sit up, they go, "Oh fuck! What the hell's happening?"
Oh my god!
Are they
It
human,
vomited out
or-
somebody.
At this point, I think Gus actually like lifts one of the rings to his lips, and he'll cast message through his ring. It just has like a tiny slit in it. He just blows over it, a small whistle, and Allegra, whoever your character is, will hear, "Are you in trouble?" You can
What the
reply.
And
It's
in
so
this
weird being on the other end of it.
in this brief second, while this light is kind of lighting up the room, you don't have to go in depth character descriptions, but just everyone describe what Allegra's character is seeing.
I guess I'll describe myself. You see, Plumbledon, a 5'8", bluish purple tiefling, a very fancy boy, looks very stuffy in sort of French Revolutionary garb, aristocracy, and he's has a very awkward stance, holding a wand out, pointed at this area, and looking very shocked, and has a little pairs of glasses. He looks like a weenie, basically.
You see this kind of like pulsing, kind of glowing light, and when you turn to look, it's emanating from this ebony staff, and it's lighting kind of like it's throwing harsh light at a very angular face. There's a black woman standing there. She's got like medium brown skin and a sneer on her face and a short, sharp angled bob, and she's like backing away slowly, looking at you like she just doesn't understand what she's looking at. She's very like skinny and harsh looking and mean.
Catalyst, you see an Asima standing with everybody. A lot of jewelry, a lot of tattoos, disheveled, messy black hair with some white streaks up front, shiny eyes, shiny skin, very pretty. Not a thought going on in their face as they've just got a big smile and they wave, and then an identical golden mage hand about 2 feet away waves as well.
And Solarian lowers his hand, that's just covered also in jewelry. You'll notice periwinkle skin, no tattoos, hiding under a very eloquent and colorful robe and white cloudy hair. It is an air genasi. And he just kind of straightens up and goes, "Are you okay?"
And unfortunately, there's not a lot of time to react, because this creature has now turned and seen all of you in this area, gives this shriek, and we're gonna roll initiative.
Oh hell!
Allegra, is your character a human, or?
Yeah, they're
Okay,
human.
cool. Just wanted to-
Fantastic.
Guys, we got this.
We got this.
I didn't even get to cast Bless on all of you yet.
Yes.
Am I gonna have the time? I don't know.
All right, so this creature shrieks into this cavern and then is going to lunge forward towards the closest person to it, which is mystery character that has just been flung into this room.
No.
Just completely stalks towards you, looms over you, and actually reaches up one claw to slam down. Let me see.
Don't kill Allegra right
Oh.
away.
As it crawls forward, all they yell is, "Alice!"
I rolled a
Succeeded.
12 for my attack, so it's barely gonna miss. As this creature slams over, goes to like slash down, and you just kind of roll sideways, so it slams down into the ground. You see just dirt kind of like spray up from the claws itself, and so it has one claw stuck into the ground while the other one's on the other side of you, and it's just looking down at you and shrieking. And
What the fuck's your problem?
that is its turn. So, Griselda, looks like you're up.
I'm horrified that this is happening, and I don't understand why this new person is talking to this creature like it has a name and understands them. So I would like to cast... I kind of back away a little bit, and I cast Detect Thoughts. on the creature to try and like understand like what's going on in its brain and what it wants here with us.
Okay, read me detect thoughts.
Okay, so detect thoughts. For the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures. When you cast the spell and as your action on each turn until the spell ends, you can focus your mind on any one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. If the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower, it doesn't speak any language, the creature is unaffected. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on its mind in that moment. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper into the same creature's mind. If you probe deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind, such as something it worries over, loves, or hates. If it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that you are probing into its mind, and unless you shift your attention to another creature's thoughts, the creature can use its action on its turn to make an intelligence check contested by your intelligence check. If it succeeds, then the spell ends. So if I fail, then it gets a chance to shake it.
Okay.
But if I succeed, it ends. The second time, I imagine. The first time, it's like surface thoughts, but the second time seems like it's the hardcore stuff.
So, upon trying to move into this creature's mind, you're not getting much of an intelligent being at all. The only thing you're really getting is that it is just hell-bent on destroying this new person.
I post up I tap my staff 2 times to like post it into the ground, because like this isn't like a finished tunnel we're in, kind of. And I physically back away. Like I leave the light there for everybody, but I just kind of like fade into the shadows while I'm like deciding what I'm gonna do next. And I kind of just yell out, "It's just a beast. Do what you must."
What do you mean, do what you must?
Think we kill it. We explode it.
What?
Cat understands. It's all right, Duke Plimbledon. You're fine.
Plimbledon!
I said Duke. I'm being very polite.
Cat darling, you're gonna have to give me a minute before you start blasting.
Okay, sure. It's my turn next, so I think what I'm gonna do... Hello, new friend, you seem like you're in trouble. Have a little spark of life, and I cast Aid, which gives a little bit of temporary HP to 3 creatures of my choosing, so a golden light surrounds you. So I will give a cute little... 5 temporary HP to our new friend, played by Allegra. I will give it to, I'll give it to Griselda, just in case she's up front. I think the Duke wants to handle himself, so I'll give it to Gust also. And then, so a little golden light gives you all 5 temporary hit points, makes you all a little bit more sturdy. And then I say, I don't want to be on the ground right now. Let's get out of here. I just start hovering in the air as I use my little Asimar ability of flight, and just golden wings come out of my back, and I'm like, upwards, and I fly into the air. That's my turn.
Mystery character, you're up.
Oh, it's my turn? Shit. All right. Seeing how its little claws, not little, massive, scary claws are dug into the earth there, I'm gonna reach through one of my pockets to a thigh holster hidden beneath and pull out a Derringer. Ooh!
A Derringer?
A Derringer. And I'm gonna just shoot. 12.
Okay. All of you, for the first time in your lives, hear a gunshot. There is this...
Do it again!
There is this loud...
No, gunshot! Not the scream.
Oh! I'm terribly sorry.
Just this loud bang as it like vibrates off of the actual cavern walls itself. It's very, very loud. A little disorienting at first. You don't know what you were expecting, but it wasn't that. And you see this creature immediately like pull the claws from the earth and scoot back a little bit. You can see blood kind of spilling from its chest as it shrieks and looks back down at this character.
Well, you took me away from home. What do you expect me to do?
Do you live inside that gate?
What gate? There's nothing.
Oh,
Where'd it go?
inside that arch. Never mind. Let's kill the thing.
What is it?
Gust, you're up.
Oh, how large is this chamber?
That's what she said.
Is it?
Don't know.
I would say if the archway is like in the exact middle of this chamber, you've probably got like 25 feet on both sides.
Okay, perfect. Just what I wanted.
Oh no.
So
Fireball. No.
That's fine. We're all dead. Oh my god, they're the
right.
best.
so
I know the quickest way to solve this problem.
Gus turns towards the Duke and goes, "Don't worry, I'll be right back," and then runs up to our question friend with the bang stick miniature. And like his robe's just flowing behind him. It's all purity and everything. But he runs up, kind of skids to a stop with his little slippers, and looks at your character, Allegra, and is like, "You want to get out of this? It seems tense." And gently, just kind of like grabs your elbow, or her elbow, and does thunder step.
Oh, nice.
And while you two are teleported back to the group, in the wake of it, where you were, is a thunderous boom again. So there's another bang.
Ah!
Oh, you can't teach me how to do that.
According to the spell, I don't know how far the creature backed up. Each creature within 10 feet of the space you left must make a Constitution saving throw.
21.
All right, it makes it, but it takes half damage.
Perfect.
So let me just gather my little army here. 3d10. That's an easy number. So that's 8 thunder damage.
Fantastic.
As-
So you,
Yep, as Gus pulls Allegra's character back to the group.
yeah, you land back by the group. You can see that part of its chest where it was hit with this gunshot wound. As soon as this other boom goes off, you see it split. And you see the creature continue to split and move and split and pull itself away from itself. And then now you see two creatures standing, looking directly at you.
Don't like
Well, that felt like slightly a mistake.
I appreciate you getting me away from it, though.
Anytime.
Is this a situation where running is an option?
I haven't thought of that. Do we want to run?
Duke fumbled and nods.
Duke, it's your turn.
My turn is wonderful. So all of this happens. Duke Plumpleton falls back as soon as the person comes out, and he's like, "Ah!" Screams a couple of times. Sort of gets up and just like sort of he's backing away with the rest of his movement. But I think reflexively he casts, uses his Wand of Wonder, reflexively, which is a random spell effect that happens. So I will roll that now. It's a D100, so let's see. To 43. Ooh, cast Lightning Bolt.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Sweet.
Did it happen to multiply in front of each other so we can hit both of them?
Lightning bolt formation.
So I'll look up Lightning Bolt.
8d6 deck save, from what I recall.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's a 5 or 10 foot line. I can't remember which.
Don't worry, guys. I got the spell.
He's a
It
big
is
line. I think it's like a 6.
5 feet wide, 100 feet
That
long.
was what I
100 feet.
Okay, yeah, so I can probably only hit one of them. So yeah, I guess, yeah, it'll make me a deck save.
Damn. I'm rolling really well.
That's fair.
24.
Wait,
Okay.
you're not rolling really well after I cast Silvery Bobs on you as a reaction, giving you disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right as the creature looks like it's about to dodge, I'm like, don't do that. And like a little bit of gold energy starts to push it back in the way of the lightning bolt, and you have to re-roll that with disadvantage.
And I rolled a natural one.
Perfect. I rolled 8d6. That's 30 lightning damage.
Fantastic. So you see this lightning bolt slam forward into the creature that, like, you're not sure. Now that there's two, you're not sure which one, like, is one of them considered the original, or is one just considered the left and the right? You're not really certain, but one of them, as this lightning bolt slams into it, you see it basically, like, take this charge. You see the electricity surge through the entire thing, and then you see it, like, almost explode. In a sense, you see an arm slam down on one side, you see a leg slam on another, you see a head slam on another, and then you see bodies growing from those limbs.
Oh, no.
Fuck
And
me.
you see about 5 more of them stand up and shriek. Is that your turn?
No. So I
No,
I
no, it's not.
so reflexively do that, and I'm like, oh shit, this is why I don't do the fighting. And I'm going to use 2 sorcery points to use Quicken spell, and I'm going to cast Web at it instead, which is basically conjure a mass of thick, sticky webbing at a point you choose within range that fills web fills a 20-foot cube from that point for the duration. So I'm hoping that could get the whole tunnel where all of them are to trap them. So what it does, basically each creature that starts its turn in the webs or enters them has to make. But
So it's a dex save originally, and then a strength check to pull out of it. That would make sense.
Yeah, a creature restrained by the webs can use its actions to make a strength check against the DC to get out.
Sweet.
Yes.
What is the DC?
It would be my spell save DC, so that would be 17.
Good idea, Duke! Everybody move away from those things. Maybe we just explode them after we get a little bit further away.
I think we're hurting them. They're growing more. I don't know if we can. If this. I'll do like a fucking mind check.
I've got an idea.
So that got about half of them. I rolled dex saves for all of them. It got 3 of them failed. One of them was a natural one, so I'm gonna say it's not gonna be able to get out of it regardless. So it kind of puts 1 out of the fight for good. And then 4 of them succeeded. So you see, as their turn is coming up, you can see 4 of them kind of pushing through, and they're able to just either use like other of the creatures to get through and not step on the webbing, or kind of like climb up on the walls themselves and push towards you.
Okay, I do that, and I'm like, and I will walk over to Allegra's character, and be like, nice to meet you. My name is Duke. What the fuck is my actual name? Duke Marius Salazar Pumbleton, Earl of Pennywitch. Nice to meet you. We're trying to run away from the thing. If you can tell us anything that you know about this stuff, we should probably go. Nice to meet you. Your name is?
Lila Ord.
Lila. Wonderful to meet you. I think it's time for us to go. And use the rest of my movement to try to move it back as far as I can.
That's a beautiful name.
Thanks, flying person.
All right, it is the creature's turn.
Ah!
So 4 of these creatures are still just pushing towards you. So what I like to do is I don't like to make decisions, so I roll a dice to see who the creature is going to be targeting. So let's see here. Actually, let's see. There are 4 creatures. Who is the furthest away?
I'm in the air.
That's a really good point.
Furthest away might be me, unless
Griselda?
Gust has a bigger. What was that? Can't
I
read.
think
I'm like far back in the tunnel, like.
Yeah, she
But I don't think you guys like know where I am, because I'm
That's true.
top tier skulking right now. Like I am like blending in with the shadows.
Okay, that's fair. With all of these, wait, who's closer between Duke and Gust?
Probably Gus, I would assume.
Okay, so in this case, 2 of them are going to attack Gust, and 2 of them are going to attack Lila. As everyone else has kind of made it further away or is floating in the air. As these creatures are just slamming forward.
Shield.
Shing!
Yeah.
Can I use one of my abilities?
Sure.
I have. Okay, tell me if I can do this. If not, it's totally fine. I have inherent ward, so I can see creatures and threats, passively. So can I like watch the ones coming after Gust and try and tell him like where to move or when to move or how to avoid as
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
reaction
I
or
like
something?
that. Let's see here. Ooh, so that's gonna. Is it fair to give me disadvantage on that attack?
Sure,
because of
I
that?
think so.
Good, because I rolled a
Disadvantage
natural
on all
20.
attacks.
Harry, you need to put those dice in timeout.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
Stop.
these
For
are
our sake.
yeah, these are doing excellent. What is Gus' AC?
AC with shield right now is 18.
Okay, then none of these attacks are going to hit Gust. Ooh.
Watch out there! It's gonna. Oh, yeah, you got it. It's gonna scoop. No, you.
I'm trying.
Don't worry about me.
It's dancing.
One of the creatures, like after it tries to attack you, you see it like climb through behind you into the tunnel itself and is like looking around. So the Duke and Griselda probably see one of these creatures coming out, more of like the shadow, the silhouette of one of these creatures as the light is coming from this chamber itself as you are moved away. The other 2 are going to attack Lila, and with a 24, one of them is going to hit you. So let's see.
Don't forget your 5 temp HP.
Okay, yeah, that's actually probably pretty good. So, that's gonna be 12 points.
Oh.
In fact, that temp HP did save my ass.
What's
Save your ass.
what's Lila's AC?
13 for the purposes of this.
Okay.
Save your ass. Do you have 7 HP?
Might
I got
seem a little
4.
weird, but this
What?
is not. This
What?
is not Lila's world.
This
So-
ain't my world.
Oh,
No point of healing if you're dead. My God.
So, there is a moment where you're turning to warn Gust, and as you turn back, one of these claws just slams into you and actually like pins you against this cavern wall.
Please
Griselda.
help!
What?
After just like a split second of being like ready to just be like, fuck this job. I come kind of dashing back. You guys kind of see this flicker of shadow, like as I kind of pass the staff that I have there. And I don't know what I should use. I have so many cool things. I'm so sorry. I'm like over here deciding like, what am I gonna do when the time comes? And now it's the time. I'm gonna go to the one that's attacking the new person because I feel like they might have valuable information. And I am going to do Burning Hands. Instead of picking up my staff, I kind of leave it there so that we still have light. And I open my hands like this, like at the creature from behind it. And I just like let go of that fire.
Fantastic. Is that a dex save for me?
Let's see. It says, yes, a dex save. What did you get?
I got a 15.
Damn it. Fine.
Half damage?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Is it a cantrip at first level?
Yes.
It is half damage because Burning Hands is a first level spell.
It is? Oh, I don't see that here. Okay. Awesome. So that's 5 damage.
Sweet.
It's not amazing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
Oh, you're good.
Lila, you see the flame like burn up over this thing's shoulders, and you see it kind of like pushing it off, and then just like screeches into your face once again, just claws pierced into you.
That was really cool. This thing's breath smells like ass, though.
I want to like Misty step away. if I can.
Valid. That's
Yeah.
totally valid. Yes.
I just want to like go like back into the darkness.
Cool.
Yeah.
The creature did not split from that damage,
No.
correct?
Correct.
Ah.
There'll be more next turn when I can get you guys away from the creatures, because all the stuff I have is just gonna take everybody out.
Here we go. Oh, I almost fell.
Catalyst, you are up.
Okay, I have so many options. I'm gonna, since Lila's turn is next, try to free her. So, what I'm going to do is cast a higher level spiritual weapon. I'm going to cast it at 4th level. So, Catalyst is not a weapons person, they're a jewelry person. So rather than summoning a spiritual weapon, Catalyst summons the effigy of the person who is most important to them, their uncomfortably attractive mother. So Catalyst's angelic mother, made out of golden light in like a Roman robe with like a lot of cleavage and a big sword, just like appears in a flash of light. And then, effigy of my mother, attack that thing! And a side effect of Wither and Bloom is that I can give another creature advantage while giving that creature disadvantage, so I have advantage on the spiritual weapon attack to attack the thing restraining Lila. Natural 19 for a 28.
Yes.
And that damage is going to be 2d8 plus 5 is 14 points of radiant damage as this effigy of Cat's mother takes this glowing golden sword, slashes at the thing holding Lila.
Fantastic. There's this weird feeling, Lila, because this sword slashes this creature in half, completely dissects it. One half slumps down onto the ground while the other half, like, the claw is still pierced into you, but then you have all this slack weight kind of like holding that down as well, and you have to kind of like reach and hold this weird body, but then it starts growing another. And you see the one on the ground flopping around and growing another. These things are just multiplying faster than you know what to do with them.
Alright, but I still have stuff I can do, so I'm gonna try to free Lila, because that was my bonus action. I am going to twin spell a firebolt cantrip. 2 glowing orbs of fire appear in my hand, and I throw them down from the ceiling. No advantage on these, but I'm aiming for the 2 creatures that it was split into. Even if it splits, I just want to give Lila a chance to run.
Fantastic.
Natural 13 for a 21, natural 2 for an 11 on the second one, though.
The 21 hits.
I assumed such, so for the one that I do hit, it takes 14 points of fire damage. As I blast it, miss the other one, unfortunately. That's my turn. In the air, I also just kind of like hover backwards a little bit towards the exit, and realizing that Lila's really badly hurt. I don't know if it'll do anything, but I will actually start to lower myself so that I'm about 10 feet off the ground.
Okay. And that one firebolt that hit does slam into the one. Did you want that to slam into the one that is currently piercing Lila?
Yes.
Or the okay. Yeah, slams into that one. You feel it kind of like burning away, and as it is regrowing, it's screaming. And you are actually able to kind of use this to then push this creature off of you. So you are no longer pinned to the wall. And it is your turn.
What the hell's happening here?
I think you should run!
We don't know either. Get going.
That's the plan. Lila kind of stumbles away from the wall, still deeply caught on the attractive, floating golden woman. Oh, Deer's not gonna believe this. I gotta go now.
Yes.
And so Lila just starts booking back towards where Griselda went. And then when she gets there... Actually, I lied. On the way out of leaving, I have a poison vial. Can I try and just, like, smash it into one of the thing's mouths?
Sure.
No, that's a bad idea. No, it's too late. I said I'm doing it.
Roll a d20.
That's a 6.
Ooh.
Hey, lucky 6. That's
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what they say. Lucky 6.
Me.
That's 6. That's lucky.
Ooh.
So you have this vial of poison. You like swing it around to try to just slam it into the teeth of one of these creatures, and the creature turns, and you like slam it into the mouth, but the creature bites, like latches on to your hand. You're not gonna take any damage, but you're currently like held by this one now.
Can I spend a luck point to give Lila a reroll on that? I know that technically you can't do that. It's only like yourself and like things that are attacking you.
I would say if you're willing to like engage with this, like if you're willing to even like, I don't know.
I do a shape water and I help push I don't know their hand
saliva
up or something like that.
Yeah.
So I guess you get another roll then. Cool.
You gotta beat a 14.
Oh shit.
Come on, Lila.
18.
18!
Yes.
So like that happens. There is this latch onto your arm, and then you feel
Oh dear.
you feel the like poison vial shifting and moving, and you don't want your hand to be in there when it breaks. And Duke, what does this look like as you are basically like there's no other way to say this, lubricating the mouth hole so that the hand can come out.
I'm like, oh, that'll be terribly dirty to have that thing bite you. And I like use the saliva in the thing's mouth to sort of like I freeze it, and it pushes Lila's hand out of that frozen block that's in its mouth.
Perfect. And then you hear a crunch of like whatever's frozen and of the glass itself, and then you begin hearing a sizzle.
Thanks, horny guy.
What? Horny?
You got horns.
It's
Oh.
a family thing.
Duke, Hubble, Marcus
Plumbledon,
Aurelius.
B.D. Remember B.D. Plumbledon. This way.
Okay, Sybil Blood.
Fine. We're in danger. You can learn my name later.
Fantastic. Gust. What would you like to do?
I imagine that event happens and they like both run past him. And so Gus kind of just like rolls up his really loose sleeves, very dramatic like, and then just like lets him fall again. And then he just power stances and then rotates one arm and does gust of wind towards the towards the monsters on the ground before him, so they're blown back into the tunnel.
Fantastic. Is there a save for that?
There is.
Is it Dex?
Is it Dex? It's strength.
Okay.
That dies away. Get a different die.
Okay, what is the DC?
16.
Only 2 of them succeeded.
I
So
will
you're watching.
silvery barbs to make another one roll with disadvantage.
Fantastic. That's still a success.
I appreciate.
Teamwork this time.
They're all blown backwards except for 2 of them. They slam their claws like into the ground itself, and they're holding themselves there as this wind is just pushing through, shrieking and trying to like claw even closer to you. Would you like to do anything else?
Yes, I'll also read more of the spell, so because this line of wind stays, and
Oh,
Gus
perfect.
is going to slowly back towards the others while maintaining that line of wind. And for any creature in the line, they must spend 2 feet of movement for every 1 foot. So their speed is halved, I guess.
Fantastic. And you're just holding that, like basically to let everyone kind of like file out.
Yeah, file out is just buffer them, slow them down.
Perfect.
That'll be a great time to run and learn each other's names again. Go on. Dove Spire has it.
I'm Cat.
And a cat. You look marvelous, by the way.
Oh my god, thank you.
That thing you made is super hot. Holy shit.
That's me, Mum.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, we're gonna
That's
get over that
fine.
little hump later. Keep running, please.
So I'm assuming it is my turn.
Yes.
Now. I forgot to do this. I have to roll the wild magic thing every time I cast a spell that's first level or above. Carrie, are you okay?
You a wild magic sorcerer?
Yes. I think it's more interesting to roll on the magic table more often. Can it be a DC of 5? that I have to roll above instead of just getting a 1 because I think it's very funny.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Okay, damn it. Okay, I didn't have to roll. But anyways,
Damn it, I
this
succeeded.
turn. Damn it. I look at everything that's going on, and I'm like, oh, well, this is actually doing very well. But it might be a good idea to. Gus, would you mind? I sort of step up next to you.
Sure, whatever.
I feel as if what you're doing will actually make this spell a lot easier. I think I remember it, and and I cast Wall of Fire, 4th level, and basically create a wall of fire, solid surface. You can make the wall up to 60 feet long or 20 feet high, 1 foot thick, or 20 feet in diameter. If it's a circle, I feel like since this is a tunnel, I can make it just a really small, like oblong. So basically just a literal wall of fire going down this tunnel. And since the gust of wind is going in this, I feel like wind making the fire hotter. I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. Combining spells. I don't know what Gary wants to do, but I think it's pretty fucking cool.
Maybe Gary should do this. I don't know.
Maybe add some more D whatevers.
Maybe
to
we
this
win now.
Damage. What do you think?
Just don't burn my robe.
What is the damage?
It is a 5d8.
Cool. Make it 8d8.
Oh! Cool.
Creativity.
Can we make it 10d8 because I was gonna do the same spell?
Can we make it 100 d8?
Yeah, we could just do a billion d8 if that's cool. But yeah, they have to make deck saves, everyone in there, and I'm pretty sure the ones that are in the web do it at disadvantage. Actually, probably all of them because of the gust of wind, and they're having to like hold on to stuff. I don't know. I would argue that.
I would argue that as well.
Perry's like, why do I DM for DMs?
And I have a wild
No, I
magic
love
search
it.
go off, so that's cool too.
Fireball. Fireball.
Carrie also
How-
made this hell for herself.
Fireball.
Perry's like, I rolled 45, so no.
I think we're good to keep this at firewall and not at fireball.
Hey.
Rolling. Oh no. Okay.
Fireball. Fireball.
Okay. Well, what do you want first, Carrie? The damage that is being done, or
Yes, give me the damage.
okay? There's 41 fire damage.
Okay.
Just flying out of the end of this wand, and you see that Duke Plumbleton looks very embarrassed that this is happening, and it's just like, oh no. But then like a bunch of like rainbow sort of like colors are coming out of the end of the wand. He's like, oh no, and then lightning shoots out from the end of the wand, and basically it's
Chain lightning.
fuck, it is up to 3 creatures. Oh, I choose. Okay, this is good. Up to 3 creatures you choose within 30 feet of you
scared for
take
Lila.
4d10 lightning damage.
So scared for Lila.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, because I thought it was just around.
Oh, did I choose? Good. I choose
Actually,
Lila.
since I
Want
can
to explain to
choose
Zakiya
it.
why I'm dead?
Yeah, I do. Oh my gosh, I was so afraid. Since it's creatures I choose, can I choose no one? Because I know that splits the creatures. Like I like shoot it up instead.
I don't know, because since that's your wild magic,
It does say choose though.
But it doesn't say
you
you,
know what?
can't choose.
I'll give you this. How about this? For
Hit
Gus,
me.
he sees this coming. Like he's like concentrating on that, and he's like looking over, and he's looking over, and he's like, and he reaches with his other hand and like grabs the wand as it starts sparking out, so he can just take this lightning
Oh
rod.
no. Oh.
Have you rolled
Are you gonna-
damage yet?
are
I
you
have
gonna
not
take
rolled
all
damage
3?
Why not just hit the creature? Do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Is there a creature
they-
nearby?
yeah,
The creatures
I mean,
Okay.
are on fire.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
If you're going to take the creatures, take them creatures.
Yeah,
and if you have one to expend, Gus will take one.
I would say you're going to grab it, and I was like, no, and try to keep it away, and then I turn it towards the creatures instead. So that is 4d10, 27 lightning damage. As all of these things are on fire, just lightning. This is scary. This is like a volcano eruption.
Yeah,
Like,
so
fire and lightning.
Kat is still in the room, correct?
Hi.
So Duke and Gust are looking into this room as well. Lila is still technically in this room as well, correct?
You didn't run.
Yeah, I'm running, but I'm still here.
So you all see this, probably one of the craziest sights you've ever seen in your lives. You see bursting into flame, multiple creatures just bursting into various flames and explosions, and then you see, as they're shrieking and burning in slow motion, might I add, lightning strikes out and slams into 3 of them. But you watch as they're on fire and the lightning strikes out, it doesn't just slam into 3, it's slamming into all of them. This whole room is becoming like this giant conductor of sorts. And you see, as this is doing so, it's almost having this like reverse effect. They're no longer wanting to duplicate, but they are wanting to merge together. And you see them all begin to form into the same large, nightmarish form with limbs poking out of every direction, teeth where there shouldn't be. You see this huge mass that is taking up probably almost 10 feet high, standing here. This huge mass created by fire and lightning. You can see flesh melted together, and 2 of the legs step forward, with 2 more of the legs coming off on the side. A few of the mouths are shrieking and fighting against this wind. Is that your turn, Duke?
Yes. I will say, the firewall does stay there for a minute. So if
Perfect.
it's still in there, by its next turn, it has to make another dex save and take more fire damage.
Perfect.
But I feel like I do that, and then all the lightning happens, and it merges together, and I turn around very sheepishly. Oops. Sorry.
That's an oops.
Yes,
He's really young with the magic. He's a baby, really.
He's part goat.
what? What? No, I'm not. What? My estate has goat. You see, I'm a duke. And and that's my turn.
Honestly, I think, like, with that being, like, the end of this initiative round, if you want to keep this conversation going for a moment, we absolutely can before we hop into this next round here.
Well, honestly, you just kind of go on and on. It's like, well, you see, I'm a duke, and I have several goats. And we talked about goats earlier. I actually have some cheese from some of the goats. You see, my magic brings me places where I don't want to be, and it brought me here, so I think I'm supposed to help all of you, but I'd much rather be home. I have this wonderful...
While
book,
Duke is talking
economics.
above him, the wind and the explosion have blasted most of Kat's shirt off. So that's just happening in the background. Now a tattered crop top, and there's kind of little as it happens.
I'm so confused and weirdly horny right now.
No, see, it's genetic.
No, not
No,
that
he's
kind of
horny.
Yes, but I think those are fascinating. What are those? It points down at your guns, and as I'm walking
Derringer.
away.
Do you not have Derringers here?
Who's Derringer?
Where is he here? Where the fuck am I?
And my cousin's Derringer.
Oh, he has a cousin Derringer. Is that who made it?
Is that my cousin?
Yes, in the city of Falmount. It is one of the provinces. I'm the Duke of a different province, but I am the Earl of Pennywitch, which is actually not quite far
Penny
away.
Winch.
Pennywitch, like a farthing.
I mean,
a
you might
coin.
find some witches there. You'd find them in some place called Penny.
Also, we have had problems with witches in Pennywitch, which is very...
Witches aren't a problem.
Winches.
No.
Wait, are you
It's-
talking
we've
about
had-
wenches or witches? Which
Yes.
one, wench or witch?
Both, actually. But the thing is like, we're all magic here. So, like, it's more of I don't know. Anyway, let's not talk about this. Let's talk about something fun. Economics. You see, the fall of the other province was
What are the
after-
economics of you shutting up and taking care of these creatures?
What?
Like you hear this voice ring out in the night, in the darkness.
Yeah, I agree with that. Whatever that was, I agree with that.
Sorry about that.
That was Madame Doom. She is our anchor in this troubling time.
Madam Doom?
Yes.
All
Actually
of this
quite
is
nice.
happening with the sound of flames and wind,
And animals shrieking.
hair flying everywhere, clothes flying everywhere. Madam Doom!
Oh, sorry, I got some dust on me.
Oh. And in this moment, the creature does shriek again and is like trying to push itself forward. It takes more fire damage, or I have to make a roll first.
Dex save, DC 17.
And then follow that with a strength save.
Try and
So
get
that's
past the wind.
19 for the dex save.
Okay. Then they take half.
Okay.
Is it the same amount of heightened fire damage since the wind is still going, or do you want it to be
Sure.
normal? Cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the
And that's
save for
a-
the wind.
For the wind,
So they take,
same thing. 19.
Wow.
so they take half of
Passes.
23, so I guess 11 fire
Okay.
damage.
All right. Damn.
No pushback, but the difficulty is still there.
Shrieking and is like pushing through. You see it like moving through this fire and this wind as it's pushing. It's almost like it almost looks for a moment like it's made of fire. Like it almost looks like if there was like a furry creature with the fur blowing in the wind. That's what it looks like if the fur was fire. Like it's just blasting everything backwards as it's trying to climb forwards. There's no sense of eyes. You can tell this thing is like perceiving you and hunting you, but it's just teeth. It's just teeth everywhere, and it is climbing after you and screeching.
It's
And
turned into a fire bunny!
Oh,
Bunny?
oh, Carrie.
Bunny! It's
my,
hairy.
my Derringer has hemorrhage on it.
Ooh.
So it takes another. Oh, what does that mean? Hold on, I have to go look at the book.
Crossing
please.
systems.
I have to look at a different book.
I'm so curious what this creature's about.
It needs
It's
to
a
die.
weird little guy.
Just
Can
a
it?
little teethy guy.
Can it die though? Can it?
I don't know. I mean, this might be. This might be like a Dead Space 2 situation where we keep killing it, keeps regenerating. We just have to throw it out the airlock or something.
Yep.
Except we don't
Blast it
have an
back
airlock.
into the
God, I
blast
love
it back
Dead
into the
Space.
gate.
I do have telekinesis. We could just throw it into
Oh,
the gate.
samesies. Let's work
Gosh.
together.
Yeah, let's like freaking combine and then
Powers
just
combined.
shoot it to
About
the
it.
moon.
What was that sound again, Adam?
Do you want to just roll damage again?
Yeah, it's fine. I can't remember if it's a D4 or a D6.
Probably D20. I think.
We'll say
I'm
for this world, it's a D6.
6.
While Allegra is doing that, may I ask about the shape of this tunnel?
Yes. Yeah. You
Is
typed
it like
that
a
earlier, and I got
T-shape?
super distracted.
Tunnel
So-
situation where the door
you-
is like right here, and there's
This-
like tunnel here, and then tunnel at the bottom.
Okay, so like this cavern itself is like a circle,
Mm-hmm.
and there's only the doorway that you looked in. Out of this cavern. The tunnel that you took here is just a straight line, and it just kind of.
Like a cul-de-sac.
Yes.
Okay. So there's like no way out then. So I'm just behind you guys in the tunnel. I'm just like further at the mouth
Yeah.
of it then, I guess.
Like,
Okay.
the way out would be back the way that you came,
Got it.
and you don't know what is forward because you didn't go that direction. You stopped when you found this little cavern.
Oh,
This-
so they might
this-
be able to get out the back. We're not sure.
Maybe.
Small
you're not sure.
distraction.
That's not good.
I would say you have no way of knowing. You know these tunnels like stretch through all of Fallmount, but you know all of the official and actual entrances and exits have been closed off. But if you found a way in, stop it,
Okay.
Autumn. Quit.
Some disembodied voice. We're in the tunnel. In the tunnel. Stop it, Autumn.
Stop it, Autumn.
That's the creature.
Yes, my master.
No, she was just scratching on the couch. I don't even think you could hear her. What was that extra damage?
It was 6 total.
Okay, cool. And as this creature is like shrieking, and you can just still see like flesh melting off of parts, blood leaking out of various places as it is just trying its hardest to climb towards you. You see it again, fix its gaze on Lila specifically. And as it looks over, it reaches up one claw, and as it goes to reach for you, there is this strange sound once again. Not like the sound you heard when the archway opened before. Slightly different, but like a familiar magic sound. And you see basically this smaller tear in reality just open up just slightly, and you see a person step out. Seems casual at first, stepping out, glancing around. You see
I have another person in here.
You see a woman, kind of baggier, almost like leather and cotton clothes, very baggy, very casual. You see a hat on top of her head, various jewelry on her wrist. Lila, you see Alice step out.
Thank
of
God.
this rift. And as soon as she does so, she sees what's happening. The hair immediately starts flying. She reaches up and grabs onto her hat. She looks at Lila and she says, "If you wanted to skip training, you should have just said so."
I didn't want to. This was an accident.
Griselda.
Nice to meet you. I'm Duke Plumbleton. I'm assuming you know Lila. This is Solarian, and this is Griselda. This is Cat, and that's a monster. Welcome. Any help would be appreciated.
Griselda, it is your turn. Actually, you know what? From everything you were saying earlier, you were saying something about like everyone working together to do something. Since that was the creature's turn, if you want to, I'll take a moment and kind of decide how you want to use all of basically your full move up until that. That would be, yeah, we can do something like all at the same time if you like.
I can potentially give it a level of exhaustion with Sickening Radiance, and I can heighten spell it to give it disadvantage. And if it succeeds, I can use Silvery Bobs as a reaction to give it a disadvantage again, just in case. So that it could potentially get a ton of damage and also have disadvantage on whatever the hell else y'all are trying to do.
Checks. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I would say, carry with my, well, it probably ended after I cast the fire wall. But when the monster came out, my detect magic was still going. Do we get anything from the monster? Any sort of information? Like, and also looking at it now, is it dying from the fire, or is it just slowly regenerating? Like, and magic. Like, is this a magic thing? Is it like a construct? Any sort of information from that?
So, it's strange because it does seem to be regenerating slowly. The fire does seem to be hurting it. I would say as you're like staring at this creature, watching parts of it burn and regrow, you kind of look over to Lila and Alice, and there's this moment of recognizing like they're not from here. There's a chance this creature's not from here either.
She doesn't even go here.
Exactly.
I feel like I want to ask Alice for information. What? And I point at the monster. What is?
That? I feel like there would be this moment of Alice, like, first of all, looking at all of you, like, and then looking at Lila, like, what?
I don't know. That one's Gust, I think. There's someone called Doom over there. This guy's a Duke, Plumbleton, right? Plumbleton,
Done
did I get it?
Yes.
Plumbleton.
Plumbledon.
Bubble done.
Okay.
Yes.
That's Bubble done, and that's Cat. They're hot.
Cat.
Yeah, their mom's hot too.
Very,
Mom's really hot. I mean,
very
we could.
pretty. Look, I don't really care what your names are. Are you powerful?
Rude.
Oh,
A gesture.
Of course.
Get out of the fire.
Explosions,
They are.
wind.
Right, let's focus on that then. I don't know what the fuck this is. And points to this mass that is again writhing, and there's these loud like winds and fire screeching everywhere. But we need to get rid of it.
Any ideas?
All right, so if we're kind of just doing whatever, a team-up attack, I will do my Sickening Radiance first. So, Cat hovers in the air, and normally just like a very relaxed, attractive person, their eyes go shock white. Their skin kind of starts to shimmer silver, and they start to look a little bit scary up on the ceiling as this radiant energy starts building up inside of them. And they say, "Sometimes the darkest thing in the world is the light!" And I, boom, cast Sickening Radiance on the big monster, and I will heighten spell that to give it disadvantage, and if it fails there, I will Silvery Bobs it to give it disadvantage again. Either way, it is a con save, DC 17.
Hell yeah.
So, with disadvantage, 5.
So, the light bursts out of me, and this sphere of light starts surrounding the creature, first starting out as a little orb, and then it starts to grow, enveloping the thing, and Sickening Radiance is just so phosphorescent bright that the thing gets disadvantage on anything else that it is going to do, thus giving my allies a little bit of an advantage, and also dealing a cheeky little bit of damage equal to 19 points of radiant damage. And I'll throw a bonus action healing word over Delilah if I can.
Absolutely, go for it.
Yeah.
Hi,
And I
get
think-
better!
I think at that
Good.
too, Alice looks at the archway that is in the center here, and kind of like glances over to Lila and says, "That looks a little bit like a portal, doesn't it?" And holds out her hand.
Whatever you need.
And they grasp hands, and you watch them both kind of like close their eyes for a moment, and they're focusing. What are the rest of you doing? As you see this light beginning in the portal again. The portal's not quite activated and open yet, but you can see it just barely opening up.
I'd like to look over to where Doom is.
The darkness.
You hear out of the darkness after Cat does their like extreme like rage kind of magic. Cat, my darling, I don't think I've ever loved you more. And then like you don't see anything, like I still stay like cloaked, but I want to fire fireball at this monster creature and try to smash it really hard with my fire.
Fantastic.
I think you have to roll first, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Also, to help with this, can I telekinesis and grab it in the air? So like kind of holding
The
it
fire-
in the air.
Grab the fireball?
No. Like the monster. So it's
Oh,
like
gotcha.
instead of it holding onto the ground, it's like boop, and then it's like
Ooh.
easier target, boom.
And it's got disadvantage
Or
on all these
something.
saves.
So are we doing like telekinesis in the air, hit it with the fireball, gust
know
it through
what?
the portal?
You know what? Hold on. I gotta add one more thing to all this menagerie. Everybody's getting in their last shot, it seems like. I gotta do it. Okay, so definitely gonna meta magic quicken spell. Because Gus is just like sensing and hearing all of this about the startup. He's like, whoa. A dove spire always helps in the end. And as a bonus action, he's just gonna like put up another hand and like wiggle up his his like finger rings together, and then snap, and it's gonna be synaptic static on the creature as well.
Hell yes.
What does that do?
So I would want that spell to go off first, so that it has to do an intelligence save.
That's a -1.
Excellent. Okay, so first off is 8d6 damage, but I'll roll that as I try to explain it.
Let's
The other
roll.
part. After a failed save, the target has muddled thoughts for 1 minute. During that time, it rolls a d6 and subtracts the number rolled from all of its attack rolls and ability checks, as well as con saves.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
I will do that.
It's like Fireball plus Bane with
Yeah.
psychic
Right.
damage. God damn. Sorcerers are crazy.
Right?
I need to play more of
Fucking
these.
love sorcerers.
They're dope as fuck.
All right. That's 27 psychic damage.
Damn.
So hopefully, as the Duke uses telekinesis to like lift its claws out of the ground, like the pain in its mind like also like helps out. So it's just like crushing. It's like
yeah, it just like reaches up.
And Lila has a last case, and if it somehow passes, Lila has a last thing to do too. But I'll hold it until.
So I guess this is my telekinesis time. Basically, I can lift a huge or smaller creature. Basically, I have to make an ability check with my spell casting ability, contested by the creature's strength check. If I win, then I can move them. I feel like maybe they have disadvantage. I'm also going to use Tides of Chaos to give myself advantage on the roll.
Fantastic.
And hopefully we'll see what happens.
what's that Simpsons meme? Stop it! He's dead already.
It's just a spellcasting abilities. That's just plus my charisma. Okay, that still wasn't very great. That's a 16.
So I'm assuming I roll that d6 for this and subtract it.
From everything.
Correct. What sort of save am I making?
Strength. Oh, it's a strength check.
Strength check.
Yeah.
Okay. So I rolled a 2. Plus 5. Minus 2. So I failed.
Yes.
Okay. I guess I also need to roll and see if I have wild magic happen.
Oh, shit.
Damn it! Okay, it doesn't happen. I guess I'll. What the fuck would a telekinesis spell look like? I guess I'm just like, maybe. And I point the wand at my head, and I'm like, yeah! And a bunch of like rainbow sort of colors like burst out, and then my eyes turn like rainbow colored instead, and I start like sort of floating a little bit. But it's like awkward because it's like sort of fancy a little bit. And it's like, you stop it. And he doesn't know what to say, and he picks up the beast from the ground, sort of holding it in the air, and then sort of I look back at the darkness wherever Doom is, holding it in place.
Yeah.
Lila's peeking through one of her eyes and like glances at Alice and is like, "Can you teach me how to do anything like this? Any of this? This is so fucking cool."
I have no idea what they're doing. And is there anything for flavor you want to add for Lila and Alice as they are like opening, like activating this portal?
I have some grease. No, wait, it's in the air. Never mind. It doesn't matter. I forgot it was floating now.
Slip and slide it into the
I
portal.
mean,
That was the
grease
plan.
make it more on fire.
Flammable, yeah. Like,
That's true. Actually, I would love to like toss up my grease bottle as Doom is as Griselda is putting her fireball out there, and I want to just like do my best to empower that.
hell yeah.
I support you.
And then what is the final like move to try to push this thing into that portal?
It's me launching a fireball in its
Perfect.
direction
Explode.
and trying to
Perfect.
just fucking get it.
Reasonable.
Alright. So that is a dex save with disadvantage minus a d6 for me.
Ooh.
They might not make it.
I hope not.
I got a 12.
No.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Roll that damage.
Does she get any extra damage
Yeah.
from my grease?
Let's add 2 more damage die.
10d6.
More damage die. Guys.
10d6.
Hold on a second. I don't even
Oh,
know
I'll
how to
wait.
like roll all
Oh.
of that.
My head hurts so bad from laughing.
Tricks.
Candace,
All right.
bring the
Again, you
boom.
brought this on yourself.
So that's. I don't know if this is gonna do it. Okay, so I'm getting 2 additional d6. You say?
Correct. No. Wait, I gave you
Additional die.
I gave you 3 die earlier, so make it 3.
3.
Yeah.
11d6.
All right. So that's gonna be. The additional is 12 damage. The rest of it is 27 damage. So
39?
that's 39, 49? I don't math.
39.
Yeah, probably
The words of
69.
Connie Chang, I am a liberal arts queer and not a math queer.
Amen.
Love it. Love it.
All right. So, in this moment of everybody kind of like working together at various angles of this creature is lifted up, slammed into by various different things, and then this fireball slams into it and ignites even hotter than you were expecting. Everybody has to shield their face from this fire, from the grease that has now just exploded onto this creature.
Not on my clothes.
In this flash of heat and light, you actually see the flash of the archway, the portal, ignite as well, and you see the stone that makes up the actual archway cracks and explodes. You're all covered in light and heat for a solid 3 seconds. Your ears are ringing. And then finally, the sound fades. The light fades. And you're able to look around.
Ooh.
I
You
summon.
cough. You cough, but you can't draw breath after your cough. You can't breathe in, and there is this brief moment of panic. Nobody can breathe. And you see portals everywhere. One moment, can you hear my cat scratching?
No.
It's the scratching post, so I can't be mad, but like
Right.
It's not
I-
A
getting
loophole.
I would like to add though that since air genasi don't have to breathe,
You're fine.
I think
yeah,
for a
you
moment,
don't notice anything is wrong for a
Yeah,
moment.
I think
No.
Gus just kind of looks around and goes, "Well, this is quite different."
You see surrounding you portals everywhere. You see like the pale blue lights. Various size doorways, various distances from you. It's beautiful. You stand in darkness. It's almost like the floor is made of dark. It's just like the night sky with no stars, but the stars are these archways of blue and white all around you. What do you do?
I guess you could say we're at the crossroads of it.
What was that?
I said we're at the crossroads of it.
Stop breathing. Just keep your mouth closed. It's fine.
Like to make an investigation check to be like, where do I think the safest place to be, and then run towards that. 'Cause,
Yeah,
we know
Gus
what
is also-
teleports and heats are. So
Gus will also be looking around for just a familiar sight inside a portal if there was one activated.
Sure, make a perception check.
can I just help
All of us?
Gus
Sure.
then?
Whoever would like to.
I'll
Am I
assist
still
you.
here?
Yeah, you and Alice are still like hands locked, looked up, and are unable to breathe.
14.
13.
12.
Oh well, fuck. Then I'll roll then.
Yeah.
17.
Ah! I am going to. Here's the thing.
Tides of
So
Chaos?
Tides of Chaos. I already used it, but I can willingly roll on the wild magic table to get it back and then use it to give myself advantage. So it was not worth it. But I got worse. But I still get to roll on the wild magic table, which is always very fun.
You kill
As
Lila
Adam
and
is
Alice
rolling on
after all
the
that.
wild magic table, I'm still kind of in the back of the cave, or like this tunnel, and everybody feels like, I don't know, is there no air, or is it's just not potable?
So as you're looking
Potable
around,
for
you're
all.
not in the tunnel anymore. You are in a void of darkness
I
with
see.
with like portals surrounding you.
I still like grab for my staff, knowing, like, hoping that it wouldn't be teleported away from me because like it's attuned to me. So like I like reach out my hand and try to like call it to myself. Does it come?
Yeah, there's a moment of panic, and then you feel your fingers like clutch around the staff itself.
I tap it, and I'm not sure if we can have light in this area. If so, it comes from my staff. That would be probably the first time that Lila and Alice would see me, and I'm like right behind them. Like I'm like not like I'm like super just like I come like out of nowhere. I'm just like tap tap.
Yes.
Hello, newcomers. What are you doing here?
You can't breathe. You can't breathe to talk unless you have something you can use. Gust can breathe because he doesn't need to breathe.
Is my fire working?
No.
Okay, so then there's no oxygen.
So I just want to let you all know, I rolled a 92 on the wild magic table.
Oh no.
And it says if you die within the next minute, you immediately come back to life as if by the reincarnate spell. So,
Wait,
fuck
which
yeah.
which also
reincarnate.
it reincarnates you as another race.
Oh, that's cool. That's really interesting. But anyways, I was like, and then like weird magic comes out, and I'm like, and we'll just. I guess, did anyone notice any portals that seem good? I'm panicking.
So, yeah, all of you are panicking at this moment in time. Most of you cannot breathe. You cannot draw in breath. And let me ask Gust. You are not panicking. You are standing there completely normal. You're looking over and realizing your friends cannot, well, friends is a loose term, but realizing your allies cannot breathe. Most of these portals, you can't see anything through them. They are just light. And if a creature like that came out of one of these, you're not certain you want to go through one without knowing what is on the other side.
Yeah.
Is there anything Gust can do to aid their friends? Or is there anything Gust would like to try to do?
You know what? I do have something that I would think Gus would try to do in this moment of time. Let me just read a couple more things. But this is nothing of a feature or anything, it's actually just who he is. If there was any way for him to focus in on his sorcery, his lineage, his origin, and perhaps connect to the air plane where his grandmother came from, and maybe just knock on that kind of door and be like, which one is it? May I come in and visit with some friends? It's been a while.
Go ahead and roll a d20.
Oh my god. I'm so scared. 17?
Okay. There is this moment where it's not directing you towards a portal necessarily, but you see it's not a rift opening up either, but you almost see like this blanket, this silky blanket kind of moving through the space, and then you realize it's growing, and it's growing further and further, and then you realize it is forming in the shape of like a dome.
Oh.
And as soon as this blanket touches the darkness all the way around you, you're all able to take in a breath. You are in a dome, like a pocket of air currently. And in this moment, Griselda, your staff lights up and all of your faces illuminate in the light.
What was that?
That was unpleasant.
Thank you.
It wasn't great, yeah.
You're pointing at Gus. You did a good. sit down.
Always believe a dove's
You sit down.
Yeah, I'm sitting down on the ground. Ah! I look at my wand. Will you let me go home now?
So, Alice, what do we do about that thing?
You're muted, Candace.
I can definitely say the job is not done, Duke Plemblethorpe.
What did you just call me?
Duke Plemblethorpe, that's your name, right?
I don't respond to Griselda. I found it very rude, and I look away.
I don't
Alice.
understand. I am using his royal signifier. How can it be rude?
Madam
I didn't say
Doom.
Mr. Plemblethorpe.
I heard Plumblefuck.
Madam Doom, if I may interject,
Please.
while we can still breathe. I believe it's Plumble. Long pause. Dome?
That's correct. But that's
Oh,
not... it doesn't matter.
Plumbledon.
Yes. Where are we? Stand up again.
Alice, do you have any idea?
You see Alice like step forward, like as far as she can to still be in the dome, looking out at all of these archways, and she just looks awestruck, but in like that curious, admiring way almost. And she just says, "Can you feel the power coming off of them?"
I think so.
And then she doesn't quite spin around to look at all of you, but she turns around and her eyes go from Lila to Griselda to Duke to Kat to Gust. Well, look, whatever we attempted to do, we did it, right? I don't see a monster here. So maybe if we all combine our abilities. She's looking at you with like a cautious way of saying abilities, unsure what exactly yours are or where they come from. But maybe if we combine them again, we can see which one of these will lead to our respective homes.
We have to work together.
Cool. Is there not a broken one like behind us, or is it just like they're all intact? Okay, cool. Unless you want to have me do a concentration check when we flew in there, my telekinesis is still going. I just like to fly myself around and just kind of do an investigation, try and sort of look into each one, not sticking my head through, but
as the Duke is looking around, Kat grabs him by the hand and squeezes it very gently. We have to work together, and then I grab the hand of whoever's next to me.
Gust.
Thank you.
Now I'm holding onto your hand. Duke, we have to work together.
I'll come right back.
Now we have to hold hands.
Right
we have
back.
to cast a spell.
Yes. Oh,
We have to
sorry.
cast a
I'm
spell,
just
dude.
1 minute, like tea time, tea break.
Oh, you're really harshing my friendship vibe.
Ooh, sorry. Here's some cheese. I'd give them cheese.
Oh shit,
and
cheese.
would like to go and just
Ooh.
investigation check all of these places.
Food cheese?
It's goat cheese.
Goat cheese.
Oh, goat cheese. Sure.
Do you have goats where you're
You,
from?
you have that too?
Yeah, of course we have goats where I'm from. What place doesn't have goats?
Oh, it's fucking rad.
I mean, you called. And he points off to Duke, who's floating wherever. You called him horny. And, well,
He has horns, doesn't he?
we don't. That's not the. Oh, anyway.
You're blue. Are you okay? Are you healthy? You're
I'm-
blue. He's blue.
Whoa, you just can't ask someone if they're blue, why they're blue.
I didn't ask if you were blue. I asked if you were healthy.
Yes.
I thought you didn't want people to be rude. Shouldn't you ask why they're blue?
I didn't ask why they were. I asked if they were healthy. I was just concerned.
Every day is a better day for me.
All right. Shadow person, are you all right?
Me, my darling.
Yeah, I didn't catch your name except for Madam Doom, so
Oh, yes. I extend like a fairly large and long-fingered hand toward you. The nails are sharp except for the ring and middle fingers. And they're painted this like crazy dark, like almost black red. It's nice to meet you. I'm Griselda Doom.
Lila absolutely clocks the 2 short nails and leans down and kisses her hand. Doom looks good on you.
Well, thank you. For the first time all day, you see this woman smile. It is surprisingly pleasant, but still a little bit scary.
It's like a little bit of fangs or something.
Little fangs, it's so bright and crisp that it almost seems like it sparkles in like the low light of this torch, of the staff that she's holding.
Ah, they're atop. Where's the Duke at?
I'd be much more excited if we could go home.
I'm going to use Ties of Chaos again to roll with advantage on my investigation because I rolled a 1.
Switch it best, Cat. Switch it best.
Yes.
That's a 19 on investigation. I have to roll on the table again. For the next minute, all your spells with the casting time of 1 action have the casting time of 1 bonus action. Oh, my guy, what's up?
So you received that, and that's nice. But while you're like going to the nearest portals, it's hard for you to get too far without having to breathe and having to come back to the dome.
Oh, the dome is just in a tiny corner.
Yeah, but you are able to go to like probably the first couple, like go to the first one, come back, go to another one closer, come back. But you're not able to see inside of them, and you're afraid that if you touched it to try to like push through it, you would just go through it. So yeah, you're not able to see anything inside, but you now have that wonderful casting time bonus.
I walk back with my head sort of held high, and I extend my hand over to Kat. All right.
Everyone hold hands. And then, I don't know, maybe something's gonna happen. Everyone focus your magical energy. Lila, another person, I don't know, do a little dance.
That's
Alice? Oh, it's
Alice,
a beautiful
yeah.
name. Everybody, hold your hands. Think happy thoughts. There's no place like Dome.
Economics.
There's no place like Dome.
Chess.
I mean,
no place
Falmont.
like
Falmont.
Tea.
Goat cheese.
Yes.
And I try to surge up whatever celestial energy I have, whatever magical energy everyone else has, and just see where these lovely little magical powers decide to take us.
Mm-hmm.
What is everyone else bringing to this table? We've got like this celestial energy. What does it look like for everyone else?
For me, I think like a pair of like, it's more about sounds and feelings. Gust, this might surprise you a little bit, but you start feeling like kind of a little bit of a wind kind of like revolving kind of around all of us, and you can hear the sound of like giant like leathery wings kind of like beating around all of us, and you smell like the smell of like sulfur and like brimstone and things like that. Oddly, things that are like kind of familiar to each of you for different reasons. And if
Like
you
home.
kind of open one eye and you look at Griselda, her scales are starting to kind of light up with this kind of fiery glow as they channel their magic into everybody. And whoever's like holding her hand, it feels hot. Yeah, it feels really warm. Like not like you're gonna get burned, but like noticeably grows in heat.
Gust will meet that as you feel his small jewelry covered hand turns cold against the heat, and if you were to crack open one eye, maybe you'll see Gus kind of winking, his cerulean eye kind of sparking up. And in that wind and that gust going around, he reaches out and they put sparks out into that wind. So there's like lightning crackling into a web around them. And it gets colder for him. And his hair, like, it's already billowing before, but now it kind of turns a darker storm gray and starts rising up.
And there's like this audible sound of the heat and the cold meeting, like this steam just kind of forming right there in between your hands.
He'll also hold your hand tighter.
You get a squeeze back. It's furtive, but you get it.
So that's a win for Gust. What about the Duke?
I'd say that the Duke is probably the last person to sort of give in. He's has his eyes closed and he's just thinking about how embarrassing using his magic is, and he's just like, stupid. I can't just do what I want. And then he's just sort of like peeks his eye open and like nothing's happening. He's like, fine, and just sort of releases like maybe a tightness that's in his chest, and sort of releases it, and it's like it feels like tingly, like when your arm wakes up or something like that. And maybe you hear like little pops, like little like pop rocks or something like that, or little tiny fireworks going off, and he's like, I don't like it. And there's a bunch of colors, like a weird color aura sort of coming off of him, and you hear weird sounds, like all different, like a fucking horn, there's like a sound of like a forest, there's like a clown noise and a whoopee cushion, like bunch of weird noises that are just complete opposites of each other happening around him. And he's not enjoying it at all.
Are you holding my hand?
No.
I think I'm holding your other hand.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think when I went to Kat, maybe you were on, I was supposed to, and then I went to the other side of Kat to hold, like, I don't know, Lila's hand or
That is
someone
fair.
else. Yes.
Respect.
And I went to the
I
other
respect that decision.
You went sniff. You did
And-
what my cat does to me.
Lila, do you have any notes to add?
Yeah, I think as like everyone has come together, Lila starts to close her eyes and try to imagine their home plane. And it starts as like the stream by the cottage and the hearth where they cook their food with Alice. And then it kind of turns into the meadow where they train and the photo of Alice and May. And then it goes even deeper and it's Deer holding their hands in the warehouse. And then it's Martin pulling a pigeon out of his coat and like brandishing Benjamin Franklin. And then it's Lenora kind of slyly smiling as she shares her champagne with Lila. And then it's back to Deer and the lights of the circus tent and watching her fly in the air and just like how beautiful she was and what home was. And she's trying to like sense out and pull them all back to where they're supposed to be.
And I think there's just a moment where you hear Alice's voice like crystal clear in your head. And you're not sure if it's the memory that you're recalling or if it's happening right now. But she just says, look without seeing. And there are a couple seconds that tick by. All of you feel each other's magic surrounding you. You can feel the dome disappearing, but your magic enveloping you and pushing in on you. You're not afraid. You're realizing you can't take a breath in, but there's no panic this time as you feel each other's magic pushing against your skin, moving through your hair. Your eyes are squeezed shut. And then you open your eyes. Gust, Griselda, Catalyst, and Duke. You stand in the circular chamber from where you came.
Huh.
burnt charcoal corpse of this creature lays dead on the ground. Whatever archway was there has crumbled. And Lila and Alice are gone.
It was nice to meet whoever that was.
Right.
Lila and Alice.
Yeah.
Good thinking, Cat.
Yeah, well, you know what they say. Maybe the real magic was the friends we made along the way.
So we're done? And I start to walk away.
You don't suppose there's another one of these somewhere, do you?
Stops. God damn it.
If you're still here, I imagine the job is not done.
I look at my little wand and glove and I guess try to walk away from the group and see if it pulls me back or not.
I'm gonna say, as you begin to walk away, your foot kicks something on the ground.
Oh, I look at it.
You look down. Lila, what is it?
There's some kind of curved metal thing. There's a little trigger underneath it, and you recognize it as that really loud little hand cannon that Lila shot off. And kind of sprinkled around it are little bullets, projectiles. And it's just there. On the ground.
Fascinating. And I use my mage hand, which is a gloved hand, goes down, picks them all up. I'm like, oh, this is wonderful. And I put it in my pocket.
Are those marbles? Silver ones?
I don't know, honestly. I'm not quite sure what it does, but I think some of them come out of this thing.
It looks heavy. You beat someone with it, maybe.
Maybe. It made a really loud sound. And I'm going to start investigating the gun.
And when that happened, Gus is like, it's not usually the good thing to look at a hole. It got us into trouble in the first place.
That is true. Actually, this is rather similar design to a crossbow, but it doesn't have the... Oh, shit! Well, figured out what it does.
This loud bang. And I think for a moment the scene hard cuts.
To a funeral.
Gathered here today to give thanks.
The Duke.
Stop making me, my head is
Plumble
gonna explode. It hurts so bad.
Plumblefuck. Plumble door. Whatever.
See? This is a genuine
whatever.
problem.
Marcus
scene-
Aurelius silenced.
The scene hard cuts to basically, if you want to play any of this out, absolutely go for it. But hard cuts to this group basically telling the king what they found down there. Like, hey, we didn't find who was responsible, but there was this huge ass portal. Whatever it is that is divulged to them. Do you want to play that out at all, or do you want to kind of skip over that?
I want to play it out because I would like to do something while we are telling you this information.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, so you walk in and
Probably have
the
notes.
newly appointed king kind of turns. It's been chaos up here recovering from the attack on the city, but sees you're not bringing anybody in, looks a little bit disappointed. What did we find?
Trouble. We can say that first thing. Duke friend here has notes, and we all have opinions.
Your hair is probably like all sorts of messed up everywhere too, just from all of the various amounts of winds and portals and
Gus will prestidigitate everything and look dapper before this meeting if it happens. But Duke, though?
Yes, Duke's wild. He's like, first of all, Your Grace, wonderful to. Sorry about the city. Terrible to hear the news. I have charts, and I organize them in different ways based on the information that we have. But this one would probably be the best to look out for you. Rip it out, hand it to him, and basically it's just a detailed, very detailed list of the accounts, like step by step. We went in at this time, we encountered this thing, this is blah blah blah, we went to this place, very detailed notes, handing it to him. So I think that might be everything. Is it?
Eyes just kind of skim over the rest of you.
So Cat's hair from the blast got a little disheveled as well, but it actually somehow manifested itself into a perfect undercut, so the sides have just been singed off, and the rest is just like flowing and waving and perfect. Still incredibly cinched clothing. Your Majesty, there's a lot of magic out there. It does a lot of unpredictable things. And I think if anyone knows about it, it's our friend the Duke here.
What?
So I think that if anyone is to lead us on further expeditions to take care of magic and all of its happenstance throughout the city, I think nobody would be better suited than Duke Plumbledon over there.
I've shaped water to freeze your mouth shut if I can.
I start kissing it.
What my good friend Kat was trying to say is that I'm just slowing everyone down. We did a great job though, top notch. We finished it great. It's all there. So if you need anything else, there on the case. But I think it's time. I've been missing my book, so I think it might. If you give me leave, I would love to return back to my estate and start sending you that tax money that you need as one of your dukes. You're definitely going to need it with the city and everything, and I'm happy to do it.
He just looks to Gust and Griselda now.
This entire time, I'm just looking at the king. I would like to use detect thoughts
Okay.
to hear like what he's thinking as they're giving like all their findings and what happened. I want to know like, is there surprise? What's up?
Oh my god.
Perfect. So you get surface thoughts just immediately, right?
Right.
Perfect.
Wisdom saving throw.
And,
is that just in general, or is that to go deeper?
I think it is.
The wisdoms that go deeper.
I think it's because I think it's the second time.
Yeah.
It's deeper.
Gus will chat him up though, with this like a very charismatic retelling of going in there and meeting Lila.
Of like what happened.
And the
we will.
mysterious
So it-
bank stick.
It gives me the attack/save of wisdom 14, but in the text it doesn't say like.
Yeah, I think that's just to like try to get deeper thoughts.
Oh, if
So-
I probe deeper,
yeah.
you have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So
that's what
yeah,
I'm-
initial thoughts. A lot of it is. The very first thoughts are, "Wow, why did I hire these people?" And then after that, it is okay. They found some information. And then after that, it is pure confusion and being overwhelmed. This man is only king right now because his father just died in this attack on the kingdom itself. So there's just this sense of having like way too much to do, way too much responsibility on his shoulders, and you see him kind of like snap his fingers at the telling of like these portals and Lila and Alice and he gathers somebody over and he says, "Look, gather our druid council. They might know more about this portal thing." And then he turns back to all of you and he says, "Okay, you've done well, I think.
I have to say we did all right. We prevented you being swarmed by some creature that would just overwhelm us all.
Yes,
Quite
the
right.
man's dead.
That sounds terrifying. You're sure the portal is destroyed?"
Yeah, probably.
Look
Yeah,
at everyone.
probably.
Can I make a retroactive intelligence check to be like,
Sure.
make sure that we destroyed it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Fuck yeah. That's an 18 plus whatever the fuck my intelligence is.
Yeah. You know, when you got back,
4.
that archway wasn't even left there. So anything that was like forming that portal in this world, gone.
Absolument.
Okay. Well, we'll get our druid council on this. We'll see what else we can figure out. So I guess you're dismissed, Duke.
Thank you. And immediately turn around and leave.
Do you just pop out, or do you...
Actually, yeah, I would. I mean, I don't technically have this spell, but I would love to just teleport right back home.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, on that note, this is the part of the story where I ask the 4 sorcerers, how does Dimitri, get your face out of the light. You're gonna burn your whiskers.
Dimitri, no!
Hey,
Such a
he's like,
renegade.
he's like, if I just stare into this light, what will happen?
You are going to blind yourself and
Mama,
make
you
yourself
can't
an
stop
easier
me.
target for Autumn. That's what you're gonna do.
You'll have disadvantage on your attacks if you stare at that light bulb. Come on, cat.
Don't do it,
Candace
buddy.
is
So-
so right.
This is the part where I ask the sorcerers, how does your character story either end from here, or where does it go from here? Where do you see your character going after this? Take it away however you'd like.
I think, Cat knows that with great magic comes great responsibility, so they're gonna very happily just keep running around town, big smile on their face, waving their hand and just causing things to like explode or get blown away to just help the everyday people of the town. That's exactly what they want to do with the rest of their life. And on the way out of the throne room, they say, y'all are great. If anyone wants to go for a little tumble in the hay, my inn's over there. Bye, everyone. And Cat leaves.
Blow something up. You're
Absolute
welcome.
fucking legend.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Griselda probably lingers for a bit to like just probe the king just to make sure he doesn't know more than he lets on. Kind of like just being a little ghost, like being there but not really there, like hiding, like again in the shadows, just being very gloomy and trying to kind of listen in. I imagine she finds nothing.
Probing deeper is just more questions to give to the Druid Council. You kind of get like more fear than anything of like, oh, are there more of these? Are there more of these portals? Do we need to be concerned? I'm not sending those guys again, but like there's just a whole lot of that.
So like kind of finding that this one person was not as evil as perhaps she was hoping. They get outside and feel like the heat of the sun on their face, and it starts to kind of like recharge their battery. And her scales kind of shine and sparkle. And like when she walked into the king's like chamber or whatever, like she took off so she has a bald head underneath her fancy wig. That's covered in those beautiful sparkly scales. So she like leaves and just kind of takes her wig off and like tucks it into like a little bag of holding at her side, and kind of taps her staff twice, and the fire inside it kind of turns to more of like a buttery kind of sunny yellow color, and her demeanor is very different as she kind of walks through the street. Instead of having this very kind of smoldering kind of vibe, she's got like a slightly lifted spirit. She stops by the inn to be polite and take advantage of the offer, and then bids adieu and goes home to care for her 2 moms.
Cat opens the door with a towel covering their lower body. Hey, how are you?
Hello. It's
Hi.
nice to see you again.
Ah, yes. Is this the part where you like fade to black, or?
I suppose we could.
Okay.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first, Mr. Gust?
Go on.
All right.
My good Duke.
We see Duke Plumbledon back in his estate, and it was just like a very, very French aristocracy, big, huge estate, lots of servants and stuff. And he goes back into his little drawing room, and he's like, looks at the book, Economics of the First Age, and he goes back and sits down in his comfy chair and begins, grabs the book, looks around, hesitates, opens it, and starts to read. And I would say there's maybe like a cut of like a couple weeks going by where he's like starts a new book and he starts to open it. He hesitates and doesn't do anything, and he looks a little disappointed and shuts the book and kind of like going by windows and just kind of like tapping his foot. And he's like going by his goats and everything, and he's like, I don't want to. Stupid. And seems to have liked doing the adventure thing a little bit. And I would say maybe at the end of his little flash, maybe at some point, maybe during the intervening years or months or so, he's doing something and he gets teleported somewhere, and he shows up with a big smile on his face. And that is where we leave Duke Plumbledon.
For Gus, they just walk out. They make sure their robe is flowing magnificently, gorgeously, into that sunny day that Griselda got to enjoy. And he takes a breath, and there's a slight sorrow in his face as everybody else has disappeared. And he looks over across the town, and there's a taller building that he knows is theirs. And he just kind of sighs, but it's breathless because he doesn't want to show. And he takes a step, takes another step, then he starts grinning again. And he kind of skips along, and then he jumps and he levitates and he goes over the rooftops towards his home. And he just skips across, whistling a new tune. We can cut to a little while later, like days or weeks, and we'll see him on another rooftop on a different day, sitting, waiting for the wind to blow. And he opens his hands, and he has some origami doves, each one with a different name on their wing. He just lets them go. And you see Plumbledon, Griselda, Cat. But there's two that stay on the rooftop, Lila and Alicia, or Alice. And he just waits. But he's smiling. He's made some friends.
And the camera kind of pulls up to see these little origami doves flying away, kind of following one of them, moving over to follow another one, before eventually they just disappear into the sky. And that is the end of our All Sorcerers-ish story.
Woo!
Allegra, thank you for putting up with us.
Yes.
Are you shitting me? That was so fucking fun.
I begrudgingly made friends today.